Hello, everybody, and one click right there.
Beautiful.
Boom. Welcome to the Trade Talks Live. How you guys doing today? Happy
Run around Thursday morning.
Tricky Thursday. Tricky Thursday. You know, look, we do a lot for y'all. I don't know if y'all don't know that. You don't see it.
You don't see it.
Look at him. He's been running. Well, he ran for him. He ran to get his coffee. He ran to get his cup. He ran to do this. He ran to do that.
We're still filming, you know.
So yeah, lots of things that, you know, we're doing and working on and trying to make happen, and it's always good. But, you know, we do this each and every day, and we do this for y'all. We figured out a long time ago that the more we learned about our niche, our industry, our business, our profession, the more money we can make. Because you move up to be in the top 5% of your industry if you will get up every day and study 30 minutes to an hour about what you do, what's new. And it's not so you know everything, it's so there's less out there that you don't know anything about. And that will help you learn, grow, and rise. And that's what it's all about. I started plumbing 45 years ago. 45 freaking years ago. That's a long freaking time ago. So I have fixed a lot of things, laid a lot of pipe, built a lot of buildings. I have done a bunch of stuff. But as you see, when it comes to stuff like this, I am not doing it alone.
No, definitely not. Good morning, everybody. I am Henry Wakefield, a.k.a. Squirt, as you see down on the screen. 20-year pipe fitter by trade. Man, I grew up with a family full of plumbers throwing me in crawl spaces. I loved it, though. It was a good time, except for all the spiders. Don't really like those. But now I get to run LeakPro. And we would like to thank LeakPro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks, where we manufacture the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. And guys, when I say a system, I'm talking about the complete kit. There's two pieces of equipment that I build. You've got the probe, that T-handle style stainless rod, super durable for probing in and out of the ground. That's what we like for that meter to the home service, irrigation lines, things like that. But when you go in that home, you want the sidekick that comes in that kit, because that's going to let you listen right through the slab. If the leak's under a driveway, patios, anything like that, sidekick's great. It eliminates the layer of concrete so that you can hear the leak underneath. So check out our complete kit at our website, leak.pro. Because guys, it really is great. To bring leak detection in-house is an advantage so that your customers don't have to wait. So check it out at leak.pro.
And guys, here's the deal. The complete kit comes with everything you need. I mean, you've got to have a compressor. You got to have a vehicle to get there. You've got to have whatever else. I don't know.
Legs and hands to carry it
boots
around.
and jeans, you know. but here's the deal. It's the complete kit. You get the probe, you get the sidekick, you get 2 sets of headphones, you get the manual, you get the adapters. It's ready to go.
And the remote controlled operation.
And it works. And I got to play with that this morning, as a matter of fact. So check it out. Try it out. Tell me what you think. We do this because of what I started doing on YouTube. I learned how to network, how to grow, how to build a business through social media by walking into a conference 7.5 years ago. And when I walked out of that conference, I had to make a decision. Do I learn to speak on stages? Do I practice that and get better at it? Or do I learn how to do YouTube? And really, that didn't mean me. That meant Will, my stepson who worked with me at the time. It's like, hey, man, get on YouTube, figure out how to do YouTube. That's what we're going to start doing. And within a month, March of 2018, we started, May of 2018, February, March, April of 20, I'll get there sooner or later. From the beginning of March is when I learned it.
Yep.
The beginning of April is when I got serious and started posting my videos. It worked. It grew. It exploded. We ended up growing our plumbing company because of YouTube, selling our plumbing company because we had to make a choice. Do we keep doing plumbing or do we focus on YouTube? I think I made the right decision. It's worked out pretty well. But you can do it for your business. No matter what you do, whether you're a coach, a consultant, a trainer, if you're in the trades, if you have a plumbing company, make videos teaching people why you do what you do and how you do it. Bring them value. And if you want to learn more about doing YouTube, I made a free webinar. You've got access to it. Go watch it. It's at justmetroger.com. Now, if you've got a company and you want to learn how to grow that company, it's easy to do. Wally's Welding World is in the house. Wow, look at that. Actually, we talked about your YouTube channel the other day. But the cool thing about it is if you want to learn to grow your business, do that. But if you've already got one, Residential Service Professionals also sponsors this video because they are a best practice group that literally helps you put a business operating system in place that will help you grow, help you do things right. It's not like those other best practice groups where you've got to do everything the way they do it. We teach you how to do your business, but do it with systems, operations, and processes that work for you and will help you grow. And if you want to learn more about that, go check out residentialserviceprofessionals.com. I think you'll be surprised with how much time it will buy you back in your life. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump into the national news. Washington State launches a $900 million seismic retrofit program for bridges. Now, Washington just rolled it out. Seismic retrofit. Now, this is crazy because it's an initiative targeting bridges across the entire state. The focus is on making aging infrastructure resilient to earthquakes, particularly in corridors like I-5 and I-90 that carry massive freight and commuter traffic. Now, for tradespeople, that means a flood, just a flood of work.
Yeah.
Okay? Concrete crews, steel fabricators, even MEP contractors who will be rerouting systems during the reinforcement. Now, these aren't just small patch jobs. This is a heavy-duty structural reinforcement. The Department of Transportation insider mentioned that a single bridge retrofit package could keep 100 men busy for a year and a half.
Yeah.
The ripple effect of that, well, that also matters because it means safer bridges, which means safer transport for the construction materials that we all rely on. Now, bids are opening rapidly, so be ready for it. Mid-sized contractors with DOT experience, man, you could get some great opportunities here. And if you're a smaller contractor and you want in on stuff like that, look at the bigger contractors that do it and say, hey, man, look, how do we get in this with y'all? If you're a minority contractor in a hub zone, a lot of different things, man, there is so many things that you can do to get involved with these companies.
I've met some cool guys that build bridges. They love their jobs and everything that goes into it, all the thought, the planning, all the moving. And that's a lot of it, like rerouting a lot of things. That's going to have to be done to prep because we're beefing it up. That's it.
All right, Matt McDonough says, Mr. Miyagi of Plumbing and Squirt, what's up, brother? Happy Thursday. Sorry, I missed yesterday. Well, we did notice you weren't here. We talked about it.
Sure did. Figured you were out on Whiskey Wednesday.
There you go. Go LeakPro and Roger Wakefield Plumbing Education. Guys, make sure to like and subscribe this video. And if you know somebody that needs to learn more about the trades, all the trades, share this video with them. Mark Goldstein says, happy Thursday, sir. Good to see you in here.
Thursday.
Matt says, the bonus is you're a plumber. And I love that part. So even though you sold your company, it's not like you can't go back out and open another business, but that's only if things go sideways. You know, they're not going sideways. They're actually improving, but I do get offers. I get people call me all the time and say, look, would you like to partner up with us? We don't want you to pay anything. We want you to talk about our company the way you talked about your company, and we're willing to give you a percentage for it. I've had some pretty good offers, but I have non-competes in place till the end of the year, so never know what may happen. Mark Goldstein says, Texas Plumbing and Drain here, formerly Plumbing Concepts. Good to have you in here, brother. Matt says, knowing you, you made the right choice. Oh, trust me, I make wrong choices every single day. All right, we are going to move over onto the bottom line because early pay discounts might be a good thing. But now we're going to compare them to the late fees. Which works best for you? Now, this is the financial tug of war. Do you do the early pay and get the discounts, or do late fees actually work better for your contractors? Because if it works better for you contractors, it's worth looking at and thinking about. An early pay discount, if you've got a ton of money flow, man, that's amazing because you can get a discount of 2 to 5% on your materials, and that can feel like you're saving a bunch of money. That extra 2 to 5 cents is great, and you feel like, well, if I'm not paying early, then you're leaving that money on the table because you don't get it back. But in reality, often waiting 60 to 90 days for a full check, imagine being able to just pay it off. You get a $50,000 invoice. You could get $49,000 in 10 days with a discount versus chasing the full amount months later. They normally don't add late fees until 30, 60, 90 days out. By then, you've got your money. Late fees will also tend to sour relationships. Sometimes you got to tell these contractors, look, here's the deal. Whatever I order, when I submit my invoice, it includes all that. When I get paid for that, you get paid for that. And if you're a repeat customer with your vendors, if you do this often, they understand that. Many trades businesses don't even enforce them because they want to keep the work coming. Are you enforcing late fees with the general contractors that owe you? Did you put it in your contract? Can you put stuff like that in the contract up front? Hey, if we're not paid within 30 days of turning in our receipt, it goes up 1% a day till we get paid.
So if it's clearly called out in that contract, guess what? They signed and agreed to it.
And that's a legal binding contract.
Legal binding contract.
Anything done verbally, guys, is not a contract.
No.
You can talk about it and sound great.
All you want.
You got to sign it.
Yep.
So what we're saying is that the discounts create loyalty and improve cash flow, while late fees, that creates resentment. The best strategy is use discounts to lock in fast payments on large jobs and reserve late fees as a deterrent for the repeat offenders. If it's somebody that doesn't pay you on time, okay, guys, there's going to be late fees. Is what it is.
That's it. And that was my thought on this is I love the, not just the discount, but the not having to chase the money later. That's my favorite part of this. And it's like, that could be a really good option to throw out, especially like when your bonuses are matter on cash flow of the company. And if you've got cash flow, well, if you're offering some discounts to keep that cash flow coming all the time and you're not having to chase anything, it can keep things running smoother, but you've got to have that discount balanced into that budget and figured in too, though, so that you're not losing the ROI on the job just by giving that discount. So you've got to think about that too.
And if you figure it and think about it, guys, look, if you know, hey, look, we don't always pay our bills on time because we're waiting on this general contractor. If you know that and you're like, okay, look, it's going to cost us 2%, put that in your estimate.
Yep.
It's easier to come back to that GC and say, hey, you know what, man, you've paid me on time 3 months in a row. I'm going to give you a 2% discount because I've marked it up because I didn't figure you would. They'll be like, wow, you're going to give it back? Guys, I just need you to pay me on time.
That's it.
You do that for a little bit and they're like, okay, we got a good deal going here.
Yeah. It goes a long way. And on time isn't hard to do either. Like, we changed our pay to where there was like, we were waiting that long 60, 90 days. And it's like, look, no, we ain't doing that no more.
Yeah.
We're shifting the contracts to this 30 day and that's it. Like, period. If they don't want it, that's fine. You can work with somebody else. You're not going to get our quality that we put out every day.
Because then at that point, you're financing their job for them because they're building it with your money.
That's it. So definitely something to keep an eye on.
All right. Safeties. Now, this is one that me and Randy have talked about before because tool tethering does save lives on high-rise jobs. And I remember I've been on high-rise jobs that had nets around it. Well, at that point, they weren't worried about you tethering because they're like, look, we got a net. We're going to catch it. We're not worried about it. But this is safety at heights. A 1-pound wrench dropped from 30 feet, that can kill somebody. Okay? That's why tool tethering is moving from optional to mandatory on many commercial projects. Think about that. If you're within 20 feet of the edge of the building, you've got to have your tools tethered. All right? Especially in union-controlled high-rise. They're enforcing it because they understand, look, they want to protect everybody there. And the gear's not complicated. There's retractable lanyards. There's tether-ready tools that have eyelets on them for things like this. And holsters can all be integrated for under 40, 50 bucks a tool.
Yeah. And this isn't just high-rises either, guys. I worked in some hangar spaces, warehouses and stuff. You're working overhead. Guess what? Tether all your tools. Why?
Yeah,
you don't want to drop it in that piece of equipment, that active product line on somebody's head.
Or on an airplane.
The major. Yeah, on an airplane, on anything. Like, tether it. Sometimes it feels like a pain, I know, because it's tied to you. You can't throw it at the apprentice. Now, you can try, and it might bounce back and hit you, so be careful with that one. But it really is so easy to do. And guess what? How many times have you accidentally dropped that crescent wrench whenever it slipped on that nut? It happens. Go ahead and tether that tool if you're working over other people. This isn't just high rises, guys. And think about that.
Real quick, Matt McDonald says, oh no, got to go be the hero, gentlemen. Enjoy your Thirsty Thursday. Love what you do for the trades. Let me know if you end up going to AHR. I believe that we are. We've talked about it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I get to hang out with you tomorrow. Brother, if you can't, we completely understand. Aiden Neal says, hey guys, just swapped over from TikTok. Guys, brother, thank you for jumping over. Appreciate that. Got my first plumber helper job recently. Start soon. And this is the trade I want to be in for a good time. I was just wondering if you guys have any tips. Yeah. Aiden, if you're just starting in plumbing, go over to my channel. It's Roger Wakefield Plumbing Education. I've got buckets that we built for like getting started in the trade, how to get started, just all kinds of good things. Great for apprentice to learn. It really is. Matt says, go LeakPro and Roger Wakefield Plumbing Education. Love you, bye. Brother, be good, be safe, and enjoy Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah.
So back to the deal, though. A case study out of New York showed 70% reduction in drop tool incidents when tethers became required. Okay, some workers, they're going to push back. We do. We don't like changes. You're going to tell me you're going to tie my tool up and I'm going to be able to work just as freely. No, I'm not. Maybe this needs to increase your multiplier a little bit for your labor rate. Hey guys, we've cut it as much as we can, but now we're talking about tethering tools. We need to put a little bit back in there because the guys aren't going to be able to move as fast. You've got to understand that.
You know what the cool thing is about a tethered tool? When you're done working with it, you just drop it.
Just
you don't
have
to put it back in the tool pad. You ain't got to sit it. Just drop
It'll hang right there. Just don't have it tied around your neck.
Yeah,
and a long tether
it to your neck.
Might not be a good thing.
Not a necklace.
But lawsuits from a single accident can wipe out a contractor's complete profit on a job. And this is one of those areas where safety is not a suggestion. It's a best practice, and it's saving lives, and it's protecting companies. So make sure that you're doing what you've got to do to get your guys on board for it. And that's it. You just make it part of your company culture. Guys, this is about safety.
Kind of hit my standard because I did a lot of shaft work, and it's like, look. And guys, is the funny thing, my shaft was always barricaded off. Couldn't nobody get into it. And so I could have dropped tools down it all day, but guess what? I didn't want to have to go down and get them. Yeah. That was the main thing. Is the setback. Yeah, it's like,
And even if people can't get in the shaft, you can drop something over here. The wind could catch it. It could hit a cable. It could hit that side and bounce 15, 20 feet outside the other side. And then you can hurt somebody.
That's it. Like you said, tethered within 20 feet of the exterior. Because, guys, if you're up on a lift and you drop it, it can bounce almost 20 feet.
Yeah, like everywhere.
That's it. So keep that in mind.
Randy, battery energy storage under new construction is becoming a big deal.
Big time. Because we're talking about energy efficiency all the time. Well, guess what, guys? You've got to have somewhere to store that power. And this is going to feed for wind and solar. Okay, it's not just one. And they're both increasing more and more. Okay, in the Midwest, it's about to double its capacity for the battery energy storage. Okay, with more than $2 billion in new facilities on the books through 2027, guys. Through the next 2 years. That's pretty quick. These projects, they're critical for stabilizing that renewable energy on the grid. Got to have somewhere to store that power, like I was saying. This is going to be booming, guys. For trades, opportunities are huge. High voltage electrical work, check. HVAC cooling for the battery enclosures,
absolutely.
Check. Fire suppression systems, oh yeah. Reinforced concrete pads for the enclosures, yes. Structural to go build the supports and the frameworks to support these things, yeah. Guys, every trade feeds into this stuff. Mm-hmm. You're going to do some prefab enclosures that are built off-site, shipped in. Cutting the install time.
Makes it all move faster.
Piece everything together like Legos. I love that we're doing this more and more on buildings, and it's evolved even more since I was in the field. The hazards are serious here, those guys, because there's that thermal runway that energy will try to escape. Chemical venting, it's batteries. Ventilation, got to have it there. This is all part of those job site considerations because it's where you store a whole lot of energy, guys. What we're building it for. When it's empty, it's great. When they start bringing stuff in, though, things start to shift and get serious.
And get warm.
That's it. So the contractors that are actually out there and get trained up in the energy storage now, you're going to be ahead of the curve, ready to take on that first jobs when they're rolling out. And guys, this is a sector with legs. It's not going away anytime soon. We're talking about more solar going into homes and everything, guys. Battery storage is going to become a major trade in the normal world because that's where we're headed for our future. So it's coming.
It's huge. All right, we're going to get into mindset growth. And this is the discipline of showing up early. Now, here's one of the simplest, most powerful mindset shifts. Show up early. It's not about watching the clock. It's about your reputation. A tradesperson who arrives 15 minutes ahead is not just standing around. They're laying out tools, they're reviewing drawings, setting the tone, they're leading the crew. Okay? That early prep cuts down stress and it avoids mistakes. Apprentices especially pick up on the habit. A journeyman who models punctuality, he teaches that reliability. It's just as valuable as skill. Okay? On jobs that I've seen, the crews that arrive early often end up being the crews that the general contractor wants back first. Reliability builds trust and it builds opportunity. Guys, it's one of the 10 things that we talk about. What are 10 habits that you can do that take no skill? Showing up early is one of them. Be coachable, be trainable, give a little extra, try a little harder.
Be there. And that's a big one. And I learned that the hard way in my apprenticeship one time. I didn't stress on the late thing. This is my dad. I didn't have any problems with that. I was always early. But the other side of this coin is be there all the time. Okay. You're an apprentice. Guess what? I'm the lowest man on the totem pole. I don't matter. Bull
But
crap.
you do.
You matter a lot because you go with that journeyman. If you don't get to go with that journeyman, somebody else has to go with that journeyman. Then we have to mess up the whole crew to cover that low man on the totem pole being gone. That's why it really is important. Be there early. Yes. Also be there all the time. Be there when you're supposed to be. I understand emergencies come. We get sick. Things happen. Notify your boss as early as you can. Okay. And then the other side of this, if you are late, be that guy that's always calling. Hey, boss, I may be 5 minutes late. I hit some did this happen? Whatever it is. I just wanted you to know. Dude, work doesn't start for an hour. I know, but I want you to go ahead and know right now because this is what I'm looking at. I'm doing everything, but I really feel like I'm going to be 5 minutes late. The boss remembers that every time because it's like, holy cow, hey, you're here on time. Yeah, but I was kind of worried about it. I knew it was going to be really close, and I got here just a second ago, boss. Like, I barely made it. Appreciate the call, though. I at least knew, because then if we would have started, oh, well, so-and-so's not here. It's okay. They're on the way. They're just a few minutes out. They called me an hour and a half ago and told me.
And look, like Randy said, he had to learn this.
Oof.
I got a call from the superintendent one day, Randy's boss at the time. He said, man, I need to talk to you about Randy. So, okay. He said he's not showing up on time and he's leaving early. I said, okay, how come? He said, well, he says it's kids and stuff like that, but it's all the time. I'm like, yeah, his kids aren't having that kind of problems.
That was the first separation.
Yeah. I said, his kids aren't having that kind of problems. He said, what would you do? I said, I'd fire him. He said, you'd fire your son? I said, do you think I wouldn't? He said, I don't think you would. I said, you go ask Randy what I would do. Say, if this was your dad's job, what would he do to you? Kenny walked up and said, hey, I got a question. Would you do this on your dad's job? Kind of him hauled around. He said, what would your dad do if you were doing this on his job? Would you tell him?
Fire my ass, bud.
He'd fire me.
I'm gone.
It is what it is. And I think Kenny gave you one chance.
He gave it, yeah. And
then you had a real accident, flat or something.
It was horrible, guys. He's like, all right, look, you have to be here every day on time next week. I will. Guys, it was Thanksgiving week. It's a 3-day work week, okay? Monday morning, though, I woke up sick as a dog. I couldn't even get from my bed to my toilet. It was that sick. And like, boy that cried wolf, yep, Guess what I called? I'm like, look, hey, well, you're just going to have to go to the office. Then I'm going to have to go to the office. There's no way. I cannot physically come to work for you to send me home because that's how sick I am. You are not going to let me stay there and work. But I had to learn that. And guess what? I got fired. Lost a lot of stuff because of that. But it was the mind reset that I really needed to go, oh, wait.
Because then when he came back, he crushed it.
That's it.
Yeah.
There are consequences for some poor mistakes. How do we fix those? How do we get better and prove that that is not who we are? And I learned that lesson quick.
All right, Mark Goldstein says, where can information be found on local high school mentorship programs? Man, I don't know of a lot of them that have them. Depends on what state you're in. Texas does have some schools that have plumbing in them for sophomore, junior, and seniors. If you're in Texas and you check into that, you can probably call the Texas State Board and say, hey, what high schools teach it?
Yeah.
I know a few and they're doing really good. Aiden Neal says, also, what is the difference between a helper and apprentices? Really, it's what the union calls them. Open Shop normally calls them helpers. If you're still an apprentice, you still need to get registered. You need your registration card. The union calls them apprentices because they have an apprenticeship training program. Helping Hands Handyman Services says, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Keeping it real. We always try to keep it real.
That's it.
Especially on Tequila Thursday. All right, guys, look, we get to do what we do because of something I started 7.5 years ago. I walked into a conference to learn how to grow my business. And by grow my business, I meant I got tired of getting ripped off by marketing companies. I wanted to learn how to do social media. Well, at the time I'm 54, so I'm thinking Facebook. And I'm walking down the corridor. You know, I thought my book was up here the other day. I'm walking down the corridor, and I got my book in front of me. And literally, I'm trying to figure out where to go. And I end up looking over at this sign. And to be honest, what it said was how to build a massive and engaged audience on YouTube and beyond. And why I walked in there, I literally had no idea. But I did. And I sat on the front row. And this guy walks out, and he's standing behind the podium directly in front of me. I'm on the front row. And he walks out and he says, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. And I shut my notebook. I thought, this guy's stupid. He doesn't know anything. Put my hand on the chair next to me, start standing up, and I turn around and look, and the back of the room's full. And I thought, wow, maybe he does know something. So I turn back around, look up at him, and hear him say, and YouTube is owned by Google, the largest search engine in the world. And I thought, why aren't we doing anything on YouTube? I took notes for the next 45 minutes, and a month later started doing YouTube. Guys, it can change your business. In the next 5 years, YouTube is going to be more valuable than your website because your YouTube presence that you've built, people are still going to be searching for, and it's going to be driving calls every day that you're not paying ads for. It works. I made a free webinar teaching you don't need a lot of equipment, you don't need a lot of views, and you don't need a lot of followers, but you need to start. If you want to find out more about it, go to justmattroger.com, check it out, and then come in here and tell me what you think about it, because I'm telling you, it works. And if you've already got a company and you've checked into these best practice groups and you realize they want an arm, a leg, and your firstborn child.
And the second, don't forget.
Yeah, they'll throw that one in later. They're not going to tell you that in the beginning. But guys, that's what they want from you. And then they want you to quit building the company you've been trying to build and build everything their way. Their way's the only way to do it. Your technicians don't like it because now they feel like robots. Your CSRs don't like it because they're not allowed to be them. You want them to be able to be them, but you want to be able to help them and coach them and teach them. This is why you need to do a whole house inspection. This is why you need to test the water. If my plumbers would have tested the water in every house that we walked in, we could have done an extra $3 million a year.
I guarantee it.
Easy.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of things that we teach you. If you want to learn more about it, go to residentialserviceprofessionals.com and see what we have to offer. It's coaching. It's a business operating system. It's accountability. It's mentorship groups. It is everything you need to grow your business the way you want to do it. So go to residentialserviceprofessionals.com.
That's it. And everybody, we'd also like to thank LeakPro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. Guys, if you're a plumber out there that's tired of outsourcing your leak detection calls, this is your ticket to bring leak detection in-house, guys.
And if you're a plumber out there and you're not tired of outsourcing them, wake up.
That's it. Like my favorite question. How do I sell that as a specialty? How do you sell it to that third party right now? Oh, yeah, it's that easy. Like, it's that easy. You can do it yourself, though. I build the right equipment that makes it easy to use, guys. The leak, if you listen to it the right way, the leak will tell you where it's at, because that's really what it all gets boiled down to, is the leak's talking and you're finding that noise. That's what we build here at LeakPro. We manufacture the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers, guys. And I say for professional plumbers because it's simple, it's easy to use, it's push button activation. So if you've ever used geophones, you don't have to worry about rattling your brain.
Oh, man.
You push the button when you're ready to listen, and the only adjustment on the whole thing is the volume knob, guys. You can get the equipment at our website, leak.pro, but I offer a 2-day in-person training, guys. Come here and get the confidence so that when you go to that first job, you know you're going to be able to find that leak, and you're going to feel confident when you put that mark down and go, this is where it's at. Not, hey, I think this is where the leak is. No, this is where your leak is. How do you want me to go about fixing it? That's what we teach here. That's the confidence. Got a slab out here. I'll teach you how to locate the lines, pinpoint locate leaks under the slab, outside of the slab, even how to go outside of the home to the clean out and determine where a sewer system's leaking. I teach it all. Give me a call if this interests you and you want to add leak detection to your list of services at your business, because it really does create some good opportunities. Give me a call at 8888 LeakPro. Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Give me a call at 8888 LeakPro and let's talk about it, guys. The first training I ever did, they bought 3 kits. It was a group of 3 guys. Very expensive investment.
Yeah, about 1,100 each.
1,000. Not 100.
Oh,
but
yeah, 11,000 each. It's like, wait a minute, that didn't sound right.
no, whoa.
Randy said, wait, what did you sell for $1,100? That's what they tipped me, $1,100 each.
That was
I forgot to tell you about that. I forgot to tell you about that
it.
part. See, that gummit.
But 3 guys, 3 kids, they recouped it on one job when they got back.
Monday, the day they got back.
Yeah, because back then I was doing them on Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah, we're out in Morongo Valley, California.
That's it.
We flew on Sundays to get back home.
We flew to get home. But they recouped the whole thing because they were able to go out, go in and go, this is where your leak is. Use your side trick. That's it. Use your side trick and go, oh, well, hey, you know, there's probably a reason why that line's leaking. Can we test your water while we're here? Boom. There's the next opportunity
Water
that
quality,
follows
whole house
it
water
too.
filtration.
Guys, give us a call. 1-8888-LeakPro or visit the website leak.pro. I'll get that
Just
registered.
remember, 8888 LeakPro. That's all there is to it. Plain and simple. Okay, job site cleaning responsibilities. Nobody likes
Electricians, listen up.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. They got that bone missing in their thumb where they can't hold a broom. Ask any superintendent you know. They'll tell you that one of the biggest fights on the job site isn't about design. It's not about installation. It's not about deliveries. It's about whose responsibility it is to clean up the job site.
Yeah.
Now, I love these big job sites where they've got a cleaning crew on it. Like, hey, we put it in the budget. Ain't y'all's job. We've got a cleaning person in each building or each floor or however they do it.
My favorite's when they require the contractors to supply one
apprentice,
X amount of days a week or whatever it is, or hours or however. And you see this team come through cleaning the job, and you know every crew has somebody out there that's doing their part, making sure everything's clean, and I love that.
Now, the thing is, though, the debris piles that you create, they create hazards. They slow down the workflow. They trigger inspection red flags because I'm telling you, a city inspector walks through and sees crap everywhere in a messy job site, and they're like, this doesn't look good. So imagine the people installing it.
Keep a clean area, you typically install clean work.
And if you walk in an area and you see just cut off rebar everywhere, trip hazards, nuts laying everywhere, scrap pieces
wire
of
and rod everywhere.
Yeah, it's normally wire and rod. That's the big deal. But I mean, you see that and you're like, this isn't a good clean job site. What makes you think it's a good clean inspection? OSHA doesn't care whose trade it is. They care that the site is safe. Now, drywall scrap piling up, blocking plumbing runs and electrical conduits and stuff like that. Guys, that costs hours of rework, because if you can't get into your work, you've either got to clean that mess up or move on and say, we'll get back to this later. We can't work in this area. The best practice, rotating cleanup duty, or in larger projects, hiring a dedicated cleanup crew. See, I love it. Look, it costs money. We understand that. But it saves more inefficiency than you'll spend on it. Clean sites run smoother, pass inspections faster, and they prevent costly callbacks.
When you can walk through a job, you can go and install your work so easy. And when you get on a job like that, don't be the guy that starts piling trash up in the corner. I'm the guy that'll want to meet you in the parking lot, because it's like, dude, we're all trying to put this job in together. Let's keep a great workspace for all of us. Not that crap. Because I've seen some videos of poorly managed job sites. And guys, some of these sites they can get ridiculous. Where I'm just like, dude, are you kidding? You want me to try to walk through there and install some work on that job? No, y'all got to clean that place up before I'm even stepping foot out there. I know the electrician can't hold a broom, but we're going to have to teach him a way to do it, because it's messy. I can't get in there and safely install my work. And that's the part that you really got to think about here, guys. A clean space is an easy space to work in. And I always kept mine tidy multiple times a day. In the mechanical room, it's like, nope, sweep up the area again. Sweep it up again. Clean floor, you're not slipping, you're not sliding. So it's something to keep in mind for sure.
All right, guys. Laws and licenses. There was actually a contractor arrested for fake licenses. So this recent case saw a contractor arrested for using forged licenses to land residential remodel jobs. Homeowners were left defrauded, and insurance carriers refused coverage because the licenses weren't real. When I tell y'all, look, when you hire a plumbing company, go look at their website. We found one out of California. They're in California, they're in Vegas, they're in Utah, they're in South Carolina, I think. They didn't have licenses been denied, suspended, or revoked all across the country. And they're on social media talking about how great of plumbers they are. Yeah. States are tightening down the verification. They're moving to digital systems where inspectors and clients can check credentials instantly.
Yes.
I love it.
Yep.
Here in Texas, and it started in Dallas. Diane Villarreal used to walk, you'd call her for inspection. She'd walk up on a job. First thing she'd say, let me see your license. And I'm like, Diane, you saw it a month ago. She's like, okay, I won't see it again.
Good. Is it out?
Yeah. Why aren't you wearing it? Well, I ain't even got to ask for it.
Yeah.
And every time she walked up to a different area, she's like, is that your guy? Is that your guy? Bring him over here. I want to see their licenses.
Oh, I love that.
Literally, I had to send an apprentice out to his truck to get his tool bag or to get his lunchbox. He'd go eat lunch, and he kept it in his lunchbox. Well, he'd go out to his car that we could eat and take a nap real quick, come back. I'm like, dude, don't you ever walk on this job again without it. For honest tradespeople, I love this. Okay? I think anytime you see if an inspector's driving down the street and he can tell there's a remodel, there's something going on, he should get out and walk in and say, hey, who's working on this? What's going on? I've had bogus companies call me and say, hey, man, look, or a homeowner call me and say, hey, look, man, we did this work. Can I get you to come look at it and you make sure it's right, and then you get it inspected? Why not? I didn't do the work. I'm not getting inspected. That puts my name on it forever. This weeds out bad actors dragging the industry down. I know that Texas used to take rental houses, or a house that was for sale, that they'd talk to the owners and say, look, we'll pay you for a day to come in and rent the house. And they would come in and call companies that they knew sent out unlicensed people, or they didn't have licenses. They'd come out and they'd have somebody stand there and say, so man, here's the problem we got. Oh yeah, we can fix it. Here's how much it is. Here's the estimate. Here's this. They'd get it and say, okay, there's no license number on here. You licensed? Oh yeah, we're licensed. Okay. Can I see your license? Yeah, it's at the office. I leave it at the office. We don't carry them out on job site. We're afraid we'll lose them. Okay. What's your name? And, you're not a licensed plumber in this state. And they're like, well, how do you know? Well, I'm with the board. Dude, if they would just carry them to jail and lock them up right then and just say, look, until you pay the $10,000 fine, you ain't getting out. because they're defrauding people. And this is what happens. If you're a homeowner and you hire an unlicensed plumber and something messes up, your insurance company's going to say, well, we're not covering it.
Yep.
And they don't have insurance. They're fakes anyway. For clients, the red flag is simple. Always verify a contractor's license through the state board website before signing a contract.
Yep.
As licensing scrutiny increases, trades like plumbing, HVAC, and electrical, they're all going to be under the microscope. But homeowners, it starts with you.
You know what would be real nice if they'd just do a nationwide license so that everybody could look it up across the country.
Wouldn't that be neat? A
that'd
national
be simple.
MEP board.
Whew.
Wow, why didn't we think of that?
Man, that'd be a genius idea. I wish somebody would think of that.
We've only been talking about it for 2 or 3 years now.
Oh.
Okay.
Business training
Yes.
here. Okay. Cross-training admins for job site support, guys. I love this because I worked in the field and then I got to come work in the office too and get a little bit of both sides. But here's a practice that actually pays off. If you will cross-train your office admins by putting them on a job site for a day or two to be there, observe. They don't even have to participate. Put them on a cleanup crew so they can see what's going on. Hey, that'll be fun. That'd be a good one. That'd be interesting.
They'll quit.
But a lot of the admins who actually handle scheduling, invoicing, and ordering, they never see how the field operates. They see that Excel sheet come in and they send it out. But whenever they actually go out there and they spend a little time, the light bulbs start to come on because they actually get to see people in action on the job site. They're going to order it a little smarter. Because if you send in a big, massive thing and it's like, look, I need half, they're going to probably call you and go, hey, which half do you really want? Because I've been on a job and I'm not going to pick the half.
Right.
They're going to schedule it a little tighter. They understand, can we really get in that space or not? They're also it's going to help them catch the mistakes before they hit the field. They're going to have a little better understanding from being in that office. And they're like, wait, no, this is the real world out there where this hits. This isn't going to work.
And this is neat. I mean, I love getting them out there. I've had secretaries in offices before. It's a great thing to have. I've been on jobs where we had full-time secretary in the office.
Yep.
One company trained an admin to read basic drawings, and she prevented a $5,000 ordering error because she's like, wait, they don't need this. Cross-training builds empathy between the office and the field, and it helps them understand each other. And it gets rid of that us versus them. I'll tell a story about being in the office at one of the companies that we work for, and I was getting some copies made, and the two office ladies are in one office talking. They're like, I hate these guys. They do this, they do this, they do this, they do this. And just complaint after complaint. And I'm just sitting here making copies. And when I finished, got all my stuff together, and I walked in and said, hey, I just want to remind y'all, these guys that you're talking about in the field that you complain about all the time, we get paid for what they do. We don't get paid for what y'all do. You're riding on their coattails. And I hope y'all understand. And they're like, oh, well, we didn't mean it bad. I said, oh, no, I heard every word of it. I know you don't like it, but remember, they do what we get paid for. They support this company. They are what we make money for. Nobody in this office does what we do. Y'all aren't out there making the money we are. Y'all just help us collect it. The long-term payoff is huge. You get a hybrid staff that understands the paperwork. They understand the field work. They understand all of it. And they're like, look, how can we help you? And sometimes it's that cross-training. Let them understand what it's like being out in the field, and they'll get it and they'll understand it.
Yeah, because our favorite complaint about the field is engineers don't know this is a real job we're trying to install, is it?
It turns it around.
That's it. Give them some perspective.
All right, fleet tracking abuse case studies. GPS is big, man.
It is, and some of the fleet GPS systems are exposing some uncomfortable truths. Okay, we've talked about this. Well, I don't want one personally. But it's going to show everything, guys. Idle time, personal errands, unauthorized after-hour use. These things are costing companies tens of thousands, okay? Well, there was a contractor out there that saved $60K in 1 year just by cutting down the fuel waste and unauthorized truck use. I worked at a company. The only time I was able to use it for personal business was when I was traveling and I was out of town in their vehicle. Then it's like, yeah, you got to get to the grocery store.
It's the only vehicle you got.
We know that we're not going to make you use public transportation to run around town on your time off. That's it. You normally don't get to unless it's a immediate stop on the way home, and then they'll typically let you do that. It's not a big deal.
As long as it's not at the Topless Bar or another bar.
Yeah. As long as there's no drinking involved.
Uh-huh.
Insurance companies are also rewarding GPS adoption with the lower premiums. There's a lot of pushbacks. Some
Always.
texts, that's it. Like, this is Big Brother taking over, right? They're watching everything I do. They're trying to do it for your safety, though, guys, because there's a lot of people that want us to run into them.
Yeah.
But the key here, it's transparency, okay? You're going to have to show the crew how much abuse cost the company and how savings can lead to bonuses, raises, free barbecue lunch, steak dinner, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Reinvestments into the company, reinvestments into their tools to make their jobs better, reinvestments into their vehicles so they look better rolling down the street, whatever it is. Show them some of the things that could be better by these small savings because they add up whenever it's company-wide. GPS, it's not just about catching problems, guys. It's about protecting the business and building accountability for everybody that works there and that runs the fleet. And guess what? It's their vehicle. It's not yours. Yeah, it's in your use to do your job, to make them money, and I get that, but it's still their vehicle.
You bet. All right, social media. Now, today's spotlight is new HVAC guide. This is an HVAC account making big waves with short-form education. They post reels showing troubleshooting tips, airflow testing, and quick breakdowns of common residential failures. One viral airflow demo racked up 500,000 views. Now, the content is highly visual, it's easy to share, and it works both for pros and DIYers. For apprentices especially, this kind of quick, digestive video training is golden. It's proof that trades education doesn't need to be boring. It can be practical, and it's engaging and fun. And the cool thing about it, look, me and Randy talk all the time about these little short training sessions. What a great way to do it. Go ahead.
That's it. And guys, this is helping folks make better decisions when purchasing HVAC products. I love that because I was an estimator in the industrial space. I dealt with a lot of HVAC equipment and stuff. I didn't really know a whole lot of the differences. I knew that this is what this engineer wanted. This is what this one wanted. Okay, I'm going to give you all that. And that's typically how I went. But I love this, being able to put information out in front of people so that they understand the difference when they're actually shopping for products for their home. So they have a little better understanding of what's about to happen when you go in to do a new system, let's say. So he's been doing this 2013. This is Joshua Griffin. And where's he out of?
Virginia.
Virginia? Okay. 1,259 videos with over 15 million views. Definitely doing some really good things, guys. And like I was saying, it's mainly, about the equipment. And I think that's really cool. But we'll start out just like we always do. Let's go the oldest first, kick out there, and then we'll come back around. Passing Griffin Air out and about fixing those air conditioners. That just looks like trade guys having fun to me. I mean, we love passing each other on the job, on the road. So it's just kind of some videos keeping the condensers clean, UV light, teaching you some things, helping you with some
clean shaven back then.
Clean shaven back then, yeah. UV light update, kind of best tips on heat pump replacement. Kind of how most of us do get started on YouTube. Some of that basic, normal stuff. Kick most popular real quick. 3 HVAC secrets contractors don't want you to know. That works so well on social media.
It does.
The things not to do, the things to look out for. I love learning from the mistakes, and we talk about that a lot in safety and stuff. It's like, use those job site photos. People love to learn from that. The do's and the do nots. 5 biggest winter HVAC mistakes homeowners don't know. Look at them mice crawling up out of there.
See.
Man,
You gotta love it.
that's pretty cool. I actually like that. That's pretty slick. Ductwork issues that you should know. It's a lot of issues and problems. Ductless brands that suck. That's something that we definitely want to know is the manufacturers to avoid. Okay, so that is very helpful. See what we got on some of the latest here. How HVAC techs are sizing systems the right way. 5 secrets the pros know about DIY HVAC. AC and heat callbacks, 5 tips and secrets. So it's not just about the equipment now. He's starting to shift more into the teaching side, tips and tricks, more for the trade and teaching the professionals in it. So I think that's really cool. And I like that because we all need somewhere to learn. I came up in the union. It was nice to have that classroom scene and structure, but I remember before when it was open shop and there was nothing. Videos like this are great and helpful for a lot of different people. And that's why we try to promote social media as much as we do and definitely promote the trades. Now over here in shorts, we can kick off like we always do, just go straight to popular. Lady won't pay me for HVAC repair. That sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not a good thing.
It's a tough spot to be in. And, you know, that's why we say CYA, guys. Wife says, heat's not working. Hopefully it's not just the thermostat setting. This is wasting your money and energy. Going through and tearing apart poor installations. I love to see that, to break the bad habits, because we all learn from somebody. Well, we don't always know if that somebody we're learning from is teaching us the right way or the bad way. We don't always know. So I love to see them going through and showing out some of the bad habits, because that's how a lot of us figure out, oh, we were taught the wrong way. Oh, let me fix this because, I completely understand it and get it now. Dirty AC coil advice, stuff like that. Major thing in AC. Fix your filters and clean your condensers. I feel like that pretty much sums up the best maintenance of the system.
That's about it.
So definitely a good one out here, guys. You know, it's something you homeowners can go get into. Any of you tradespeople that want to learn a little more, go in here and dig into it and find out. Really cool stuff, and that's what we're all about here.
And understand that it works. All right, best practices. We don't do Q&A anymore. We really never got to it. But today we're focusing on best practices through residential service professionals, a community built specifically for owners of service companies. If you go into a residential home, residential service professionals is for you. When you join, you don't just get advice, you get a team of advisors. Weekly group coaching from people that have actually built service companies. Ready to use tools like standard operation procedures, templates, and pricing calculators, and a supportive network of owners all facing the same challenges. We learn from each other. It's about scaling smarter, not harder. Now, members, you get to save time. You get to avoid costly trial and error mistakes, and you get accountability from a crew that understands the grind. They understand what you're doing because they've done it. Now, this is more than a resource. It's a movement for serious service pros who want to grow their business with confidence and not feel like they're just handcuffed to a best practice group that just wants to keep taking money from them, that wants to change everything they're doing and say, quit building your company and start building this company. That way they make more money. Guys, if you're interested in a best practice group that wants to help you build the company you want to build, not just build another version of them, not just build another version of the one next door, not just another version of the one across the street, go check out residentialserviceprofessionals.com. And guys, if you will, I'm telling you, you'll see that there's a business operating system that can buy you back time in your business, no matter what kind of business it is. I'm going to jump into the comments here for just a second. Now, Helping Hands Handyman says, a helper just helps out. An apprentice anticipates the next step of every job to make everything more efficient and run more smoothly for the benefit of you all.
I love that.
And that's a good way to look at it. But I mean, a good helper does the same thing.
That's it.
It's, I worked open shop. I got to where I could do as much as some of the plumbers that I was working with. So I get it. Helping Hands Handyman Services is heading out for the day. Stay safe on this thirsty Thursday.
Yeah, definitely.
Kyle Evans in the house. Says, I'm a plumbing teacher at a trade school for high school students, and tooling is our biggest issue. We don't have enough. 42 kids in both of his classes. The interest is definitely here, but we need help getting supplies. What do you recommend we do? I would reach out to the tool manufacturers, tell them your story. Each and every one of them.
Yep.
You will have people that say, look, well, we can donate schools or tools to a school. So Kyle, man, get all over
Start
it.
reaching
There's
out,
great people out there, and they want to help you do these things.
Most of the manufacturers out there promote the trades and definitely promote more people getting in the trades because that leads to more tool sales in the future. So it's, definitely. Oh, he has. Okay. Yep. Keep doing it. Don't give up.
Keep doing it. You don't just do it once.
Yep.
Man, when I'm looking for sponsors, when I'm looking for different things like that, I'm literally like, okay, how long has it been since I talked to them? Do I need to follow up again? What do I need to do? And it works. Follow up, follow through.
Find a trade conference or something in your area that check to see if there is something. I don't know where you're at, but if you can get to a show and hit a booth.
Where are you located, Kyle? Just out of curiosity. And guys, we do everything that we do because of something I started doing 7.5 years ago. I started doing YouTube. And I started doing it because I got tired of getting ripped off by marketing companies. And what I learned at one conference literally changed my life. I found out about speaking on stages. I found out about YouTube, and I had to figure out what do I want to do first. And I had to leave that conference early on Friday because I had a radio show in Dallas Saturday morning that I had to go to. So on that plane, there was nobody sitting next to me. So I folded both tray tables down. I had my laptop out. I had my iPad out. I had my big notebook out. I had all the little notepads that they leave on these tables to take notes on. And I had all this, and I had to figure out, am I going to do speaker or am I going to do YouTube? That Saturday after the radio show, I went back to the office and went through my notes again. That Sunday, I went back in after church and went through my notes again. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I finally decided I'm doing YouTube. So Monday morning when the plumbers came in, we got them out. And then I gathered everybody else together and said, guys, we're changing the way we're doing our marketing. We're going to start doing plumbing, and we're going to start doing it right now. And we did. Now, most of those people that were there thought I was crazy. Most of them probably still think I'm crazy, but somehow, some way it's worked out. If you want to grow what you're doing, whether it's you, whether it's your brand, whether it's your business, YouTube can be one of the greatest vehicles for you to use. We started out making 3 videos a week. You don't have to do that. You can do 1 a week. You can do 1 a month. It doesn't matter. But start getting information out there. I think the more you do, the better off you are. The more people are going to see it. And the sooner you get your first 50 or 100 videos out there, the sooner YouTube knows what your channel's all about. And once they know what it's about, they can start recommending you to people looking for those things. So if you want to learn more about doing YouTube for you, for your business, for whatever it is, go to justmattroger.com. I made a free webinar teaching you that you don't need a lot of fancy equipment to start. You don't need a lot of followers, and you don't need a lot of views, but you need to get started.
That's it. And everybody, we'd also like to thank LeakPro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. They let us come in here, hang out, and talk trades for an hour each and every day, Monday through Friday, except major holidays. But at LeakPro, we manufacture the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. And I always suggest the complete kit. It's the business in a box. Comes with both pieces of equipment that we build. Comes with that probe, super durable for outdoor things. We prefer that for that meter to the home service, irrigation lines out to outbuildings, things like that. But whenever there's concrete above that leak, you're really going to want that sidekick that comes in the kit, whether it's a home on a slab or if it's a driveway, patio, anything like that. That sidekick, it's our pistol grip style, has an aluminum rod, and that aluminum rod, it eliminates that layer of concrete that you're listening through. So check out the complete kit at our website, leak.pro. But guys, don't just settle on the equipment. Get the training if you don't know how to do leak detection. Come spend a couple days with me. I offer a 2-day in-person training. I'll teach you how to locate lines, pinpoint locate leaks under the slab, outside of the slab, even how to go to the clean out outside of a home and determine where a sewer system's leaking. If you want to bring leak detection in-house and quit outsourcing it, give me a call at 8888 LeakPro or visit the website and book me for a Zoom, leak.pro. Hope to talk to you soon.
Guys, it's pre-Friday. Take care of your people. Make sure everybody stays safe. Whatever you do out there today, do it safe, but have fun.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Hope to see you back in here tomorrow, guys. Get out there, hit it effing hard. You know we will. Bye.
See you guys.